to go left. According to a new Pew Research study, 50% of millennials, young adults between the ages of 18 and 33, lean Democratic. The president is trying to appeal to the younger voters, most recently appearing in a comedy web show to promote Obamacare. So in the fight to gain the young voter loyalty, how can the grand old party compete? Joining us now to discuss, Wisconsin Congressman Sean Duffy. Good morning, Congressman. What is the GOP to do? Is it lost? You know, all these new studies coming out showing that the millennials are largely independent with a lean to the left. So are they a lost cause when it comes to chasing their vote?
No, they're not. And there's other polling out there as well that'll show the support for the president has dropped dramatically. He's upside down in his numbers of support with this millennial group. But listen, you're right. The president comes across as being pretty cool. I mean, the video that you reference, he's pretty funny in. But listen, they might like the president. They might think the president is cool. But his policies for millennials are not very cool at all. Getting out of college with big debt isn't cool. Living in your parents' basement isn't cool. Having a college degree, working for minimum wage isn't cool. The NSA spying on you isn't cool. So listen, there's a great opportunity for the Republican Party to reach out to young Americans and talk about limited government, talk about opportunity, and talk about all the benefits that the previous generations have had that could be theirs as well if we could get back on track with a traditional form of government.
It's interesting because you get to this point in life, and I'm sure millennials feel this way, where, as you said, they get out of college and they're living this independent lifestyle, but yet they have a government now telling them what to do all the time, mandate this, mandate that, and they're all the while, living dependent on their parents. So what's next for them, and who do they look to? I mean, are they to count some politicians out? Rand Paul?
Well, no, I think Rand Paul is a great example, and CPAC is a great example. If you look through the CPAC crowd, some might want to claim there's a whole bunch of old guys there, but the bottom line is this is a youth movement. There's a libertarian wing of the Republican Party that says, listen, we want government more out of our lives. We want more independence, more liberty, more freedom, and I think you see that on our side of the aisle. But no doubt, I mean, the president has had a huge impact on the youth of America, but they've become disenchanted with him. And so I think it's kind of like back in the 80s when I grew up. You don't get a Ronald Reagan unless you have the failed policies of Jimmy Carter. I think Obama is the Jimmy Carter for this generation. And so right now, if the GOP can effectively communicate and have the right tone, I think the opportunity is really great with young Americans to come on over to our side of the aisle.
So how is the GOP then strategically and specifically, when you say communicate, obviously that's a message, but it's also a means. So what are the means that Republicans will employ to actually reach out and get the ear of this age group?
Well, first of all, I think you have to listen to them. Our House conference is doing what's called a Millennial Meetup. So we're bringing a whole bunch of young members of this millennial generation into Washington, D.C. We're sitting down listening to them. They care about a lot of issues. Some of them are social issues, but they also care about national security. They care about peace, because if we have conflict, and we've seen Iraq and Afghanistan, we ask this generation to fight those wars. Sure. And so we think there's an opportunity to talk about strength in our military, because through strength we get peace. And what the president is offering them is a limited foreign policy, a limited strength within our military means.
Exactly.
And if you have that those limited assets, I think you invoke aggression from others around the world. I think Ukraine is a great example. And so I think there's an opportunity there on the foreign policy side as well.
Congressman Duffy, we thank you for being with Fox and Friends this morning, and we will continue to listen in. Thanks.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Imagine that, listening instead of telling the millennials what to do.